What's up, everybody? It's Alexa with Grace and Cherish. I decided I got the kids down, or in a quiet time at least. Baby is napping. I am gonna go for a walk on the property. Figured you might want to come along. In the summertime, this is where a lot of snakes like to hang out. They'll come and sometimes sunbathe here on the dam. Over to this side of me is an area that we hope to clear out a bit. Not a ton, but just enough to where you can actually get to the creek that's down there. Let's keep walking. I'm trying to use my tripod. I don't know how well this video is going to turn out. There's like no stabilization, but the sound should be good, so we have that. It has been a little bit since I have, let me try to use this arm, since I've been on camera, done anything. We had an incredible Christmas. Let's pause. I like this view. It's pretty. It's really pretty. Gonna take a seat on the bench. One thing about this area of our property is I've seen a lot more coyotes. Now, we've only lived here 2.5 years. We bought our house, this property and everything in March of 2022, so we're coming up on 3 years, but we didn't move in until June of that year. But one thing that I noticed in the last few months is how many more coyotes we had coming through here, and those bad boys are big. They're not like what I grew up with in the suburbs outside Chicago. They were not that big. They weren't this big, you know, and we didn't necessarily see them as much. But the ones out here, I was like, oh, they're large. So that's been something interesting. I don't think I'll see one today, but who knows? This might get to be a really interesting video. But anyway, I wanted to take a walk around the property because one of the things I enjoy is even just being on this side of the property offers a different perspective. And I think that that's good in all of life, right? Getting different perspectives. But it was making me think about the gift of winter that I have not always appreciated, especially growing up outside Chicago, and winter's really different than it is down here. And, you know, I live outside Atlanta, like 30 minutes. So being in Georgia, winter is just not the same as being in Illinois. But it's allowed me to spend more time outside in the winter, and notice more. And I think gardening in general has been really helpful to bear witness to the seasons and what is actually happening and the necessity of each season, and winter being one of those. I've really appreciated how even now when I look around, I can see more clearly because there aren't as many leaves on the trees, at least the deciduous trees, which we have a lot of in our property. When you look around, you can see through them so much more clearly. And there's something beautiful in the summer when they're all full, but there is something also beautiful, equally as beautiful, in the winter when they're not full and you can see through them. And it just reminds me of how there is purpose and goodness in each season. Winter is a time of death, of dormancy, of sleeping, you know, hibernation. Things go away, they die back. And to see, you know, sometimes that can seem really sad, but we also know how there's so much beauty that's happening. Like, that has to happen in order for the beauty that we see in the spring. And I know for many people who will watch this, I'm not saying anything new. However, I do think it's something easily forgotten. So I'm not here to necessarily provide new wisdom, but I think pointing to what is true, and that is that winter is a blessing. Things dying off so that new things can be burst forth and bring life is good. And it's the natural order of things. God created it that way for a reason. And I just am like, you know, today I was like, I want to go outside, and I guess I'll bring my camera with me to just enjoy that and appreciate it and consider the things that are dying off or need to in my own life, and pray and be in hope for what new life God might bring through that. And I don't know what that is for you. Maybe you have something that needs to, or is leaving, is going away, whether it's just dormant or it's something that is being cut off in your life. And it might be hard, it might be painful, it might be really sad. Because there is a sadness, a grief in things dying. But there might be new life that is going to be burst forth because of that couldn't come without the grief and the dying and the cutting off. So I don't know who needs that, but bless you. and hopefully that's helpful in some way. But let's keep walking. There's another part of the property I really love that's particularly peaceful. So let's go. I love this part of the property, but in the summertime, I'm often afraid of coming in here unless I am very aware because of snakes and stuff. we definitely have quite a few snakes, several water snakes. We've got lots of those. Ooh, I am stepping into thorns, so I'm gonna have to find a different way around here. Oh boy, these thorns are hurting a little bit. But anyway, yeah, we get a lot of snakes, so I'm always afraid to come in here. It's something I'm trying to work on. 2025 is the year of no fear. Just kidding. I should say fear with some wisdom. Or no fear with wisdom. But anyway, I really do love, like, it's just so peaceful. I mean, look around. Look at this. It's so beautiful. Look at the trees, and that's only something that can come with time. That's what's amazing about trees. They have a lot. There's stories they can tell. All right, let's see. So this part of the property is an area we would love to do. Well, where I'm gonna go is where we want to do a cabin or something one day. Let me see if I can get myself out, because one of the goals with this place is we want it to be a place that people can come and you know, find respite. That's the goal. And so having a cabin has been, like, right away was a dream of mine, and I'm coming out to, let me show you where I'm hoping to do that. All right, let's go through these trees. Hope you don't break my camera lens. All right, right here. This is the corner, farthest corner of our property. And it's so quiet. You can see over here, this area is actually owned by the county, so they can't build, nothing can be built directly behind our property here. There are property owners, you know, over that direction and things, but I have big dreams of a cabin being built back here so that people who just need to come, you know, need to come and get respite, find a place to be, to scream if they're, you know, dealing with stuff and they need to process it, or to just experience joy and silence and solitude, to, you know, whatever. There's so many reasons that people need to just get away. But my dream when we walked this property the first time was right here, cabin, you know, and of course with the interior design background stuff, like, I would have fun designing that, but the reason being creating a place of respite. So we'll see. Let's go to the other side. Okay, I'm hoping that this is not too jumpy and whatever, but anyway, so we're gonna go to this other side of the property. Now, the one time that anyone got ticks while here, one of my kids got ticks when we were on this side of the property in an area that was really just wild, so it makes sense that there were ticks and stuff. And that's where I'm headed now. But since it's winter, I'm guessing I'll be fine. And I'm not really gonna go in anything. We've thought about doing a tea farm in this part that I'm walking on, and that's still a dream of ours, but we're trying to focus on, you know, when you've got 4 kids ages 1 to 9, things don't quite go as fast as you'd like them to, but it's all good. We will figure it out in time. Here is our little forest. One day I'd love to make this an orchard. It's kind of hard to show the magnitude of it all, but our property goes back a bit farther through there. But here. And then you can kind of see the house in the background over there. The dam is right here. That's the dam. So I was just in those woods over there. My hands are actually freezing, so I'm gonna walk across the dam because I don't think I'll last outside as much as I want. So 2025 with Philo, this land here, what we're gonna be doing is really some of the things that we need to do or focus on finishing things inside the house, which I've talked about how our mission here is to, in short, it's almost like create Sabbath for people, creating opportunities for people to come and rest. We bought this land specifically to share it. That's the goal. First and foremost, we would have never bought this otherwise. We are so grateful and we benefit a lot from living here. Absolutely, but our purpose wasn't just for us and our family. But one thing that is really important when you're creating any space that's significant, and I hold dear to this in my interior design work, is, you know, you want to create spaces of hospitality for the people that you live with just as much as you do for the people you don't live with and you invite in. And so we are going to be spending some time just really getting some of those things taken care of for our own family and our kids, and trying to, you know, I'm working on designing our girls' room right now, gonna rearrange things with our youngest and getting our oldest into a different room. And anyway, so I'm really excited. There's a lot of good things going on and some other work I've been doing in the house, which has been really meaningful. I hear the chickens. Is that the chickens? We can go see them. We have them hanging out in the backyard. The goats are out too, but I don't see them right now. But so yeah, we're excited. And then at Philo, we're just gonna keep using our land. Oh, sounding the alarm, I'm here. But we'll keep using the land, opening it up to people. We were planning last night of, you know, what different events and things we want to do to make sure that we're just continuing to use this space to bless and serve others. So it's good. I'm really excited for the garden. It's kind of crazy. It's January and I need to start thinking about ordering seeds and getting chickens. All of that. Speaking of chickens, we were just talking about getting more of y'all too. Brandon really wants to try processing his own chickens, so for meat and all that. So that might be a 2025 adventure. Hey, just pecking along. Just pecking. Oh, I see the goats. They're back in their home. Yep, it's already time for me to be looking at seed catalogs and starting to order them and get ready in order to kind of get a feel. There's the garden area. You gotta get that all set and ready to go. It's been awesome. Our chicks that we got last spring/early summer, they started laying eggs. So we've gotten to eat a few, which is wonderful. Just pecking away. All right, it's time to go back in the house. This is our screen porch, which is part of the renovations that we had to do. Ooh, you can see some. This is from our goats. One of our goats, they were out in our backyard, and they, when it started raining, they came up here. And now you can see the remnants. She was just hiding right here because, you know, to get out of the rain, understandably. Whew. We'll have to clean that up. Speaking of goats, look who's behind me. Hey. Oh, she's like, I'm coming. Where are you? Hey. How you doing? Oh, yeah. Hi. Hi. Want to say hi to the friends? All right, let me turn this off and help y'all out. That's kind of funny. Also, I think I stepped in some of the poop, so let's take the shoes off out here. But yes, these are actually, I talked about our bell pepper plants. I had a friend who is a much more experienced gardener than I. She was telling me that she actually takes her pepper plants and keeps them over winter. Oh, I thought this door was unlocked and it's not. Let's see if anyone hears me. But anyway, she was like, you store them, you can keep them in your screen porch. You know, so I dug them up, put them in pots. You can see right there. And we'll see how they do come spring. I might have to try this again. One of the things that I have loved about this house is the wood stove, which I initially wanted to get rid of when I first saw it because I was a fool, but not anymore. It actually does wonderfully at warming our house. So between having the stove on, the wood stove going, I'm gonna make some ginger spice tea. We are big loose leaf tea drinkers at our house. We don't have any coffee. Not that coffee's wrong. I like drinking coffee at coffee shops outside of our house, but we don't actually make it at home. Gotta let that steep for a bit. Let me, adjusting that. So one of the rooms I've been working in is actually this tea room right here. There are some changes that I finally figured out that I'm gonna make to it, so I'm looking forward to that. And just continuing to create a space for my family, for others. This has become one of our favorite places to be, especially with it being so close to the wood stove, so it's very warm and the kids have been loving it. But it was really nice to have a break over the last few weeks, and you know, we were doing things just with the chickens and the goats, and Gideon was cutting firewood with an axe, and you know, it was a very simple holiday season, and I'm just really thankful for that and excited to get back into things as we start January and all of that. I'm curious if you're a New Year's resolution type person, or if you have a word of the year. If you do, I'd be curious what it is, and if you'd put it below. One of the words, I'm not normally a word of the year person, but I definitely, when a friend of mine was asking at a prayer group we did a couple days ago, I was like, you know, if I had to pick one, belonging is the word that comes to mind, which makes sense with what we're doing here at Philo, with just my life in general. I've talked about this in writing and things I've done on my website and other stuff, but just I'm an adoptee. So when I think a lot about being an adoptee and also being a mother, it definitely makes me look at belonging and connection in a different way. And then just the deep passion for hospitality and, you know, what Brandon and I are wanting to do here, how we try to raise our kids, and just a love of people, you know. Anyway, all belonging, it was the word. And even in just my own relationship with the Lord and how much I really hold fast to that when there's so many other things that might get in my head, or whether it's comparison, insecurity, other things, and just remembering my belonging through Christ with the Lord is definitely a huge part of it shapes everything that I do. So anyway, this tea's got a couple more minutes. I have something I'm going to show you. So this print that I have, I've been really excited. I've seen it, I've wanted to buy it for months, and I finally did. And it says this: joy is now. And when I saw it, I just was so excited. Joy is something that has been really important in my life, and I've gone through a lot of stuff. There's been a lot of hard childhood things, and you know, just difficult childhood traumas and stuff like that. But one thing that has always been something people have shared with me is that they're like, you have a lot of joy, and I don't take that for granted, because it is hard fought for, and the Lord is good and He is kind, and I'm just thankful that's something that people have spoken to me about, and it's just something I seek to exude, not by my own strength, but through the joy, like through the Lord and the power of the Holy Spirit. You know, that's how it's there. And so when I saw this print, I was like, I have to put it up. So I'm actually going to put it on one of these, the top shelf here, and just have it be that reminder, not just for me, but for my kids, for our friends who come, my husband, like all of us. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for that. But my tea is just about done steeping. I only have so much more time before my baby wakes up, so I'm gonna go. I'm so thankful that you've been here today. I am looking forward to sharing more videos throughout this year. And again, I'm curious if I don't know if you do New Year's resolutions, or if you do the word of the year kind of thing, like what that might be for you, but I would love to know it. I also am curious if you are already prepping for your garden for this next season. Tell me about it. What are you planning? What are you looking forward to? And I pray peace, I pray joy over you. I actually don't know, you know, you could be watching this video in not January, but July. And so I just hope that whenever you watch this, that you know that you're dearly loved, that you are not more important than anyone else, but you are certainly not less important either. So go and live from that place of being loved. And I hope that really is an encouragement and hopeful to you. Bless you. I'll catch you on the next one.